This video, I'm calling it the good, the bad, and the ugly, round 3, video 4. And so this is the third time I've made a purchase from this dealer on eBay. And every time they come in these pre-made bags, so I turn each one bag into a video. So this is the fourth and the final bag. I paid $57 for the whole lot, and of 5 pounds, so each bag's about 1.25 pounds. And each bag that I've ever gotten from this guy has some great stuff and has some damaged bad stuff in here, which still kind of makes it interesting. But the good outweighs the bad. I'm very happy to have this. This could have nothing in it, and I'd still be happy with what I got in the first 3 bags and think that it was a good video. And so hopefully he's making some more of these lots so I can purchase some more. But we're going to go through here and we're going to skip over anything that has shown up in other videos recently, but there's been lots to look at in these first 3 videos. And I'm going to start with this large French Polynesia coin. 1975. It's a large coin. It's going to be a 50 franc. And from a recent video that I made with this coin, I think this is called Moorea Harbor. So French Polynesia is going to be Tahiti, Bora Bora, and that area. We've got some tokens in here that I don't necessarily care about. Some of them are interesting. I don't know about Discovery Zone. Here is a Jamaican 1 penny from 1960. These are usually found in rough shape, and since they're brass, almost always I find them with spots on it, and unfortunately that side has a couple of spots. I was hoping for something that would be a little bit better condition. But I like this coin. I found a half oro earlier in this series, but this is the full 1 sol of an oro. And I like this design where it just says 1 sol of oro with an alpaca on it. The half was very similar in design. And then we flip it over and we've got some pretty good detail on the shield that appears on here. So Central Bank Reserve of Peru, 1968. So I like finding those. Here is a Hong Kong $1. 1980. By then they'd switched to the reeded edge. Here is a large half a crown from 1963. Pretty good trade coins, I think. We've got a second one from 1960. Don't need 2 of them, though. So that's 1909, so it's a good year, but it's also that's just rough. But it is Edward VII. So from Denmark, we've got Frederick IX, King, on this 1 krona from 1966. This one is doubly bad because it's been plated and holed. So that's the ugly part of the good, the bad, and the ugly. But from Chile, we've got this 10 centavos. I think at one time this coin was made out of silver, but there is the 1 peso and the 20 centavos that look very similar. And then also there's some variations where the initials of the engraver are kind of etched into the mountain that the condor is perched on. Here is a very well-worn American coin. If you're not from the United States, this is a V nickel. All I can see on here is the V, or I give you better details, but I think some people call it the Liberty Head nickel, 1890s. That is in rough shape, which is why it made it into this lot. From Israel, here's a half a shekel. Been finding some shiny ones of those here lately. Let's see what this coin is going to be. Here's we had one of these in the last video, the first non-silver version of the quarter rupee. That was near the end of the time where Britain was controlling India. Here we have a coin from Luxembourg, but we had the aluminum version of this coin in a previous video, but here it is in 1947, and it appears to be copper from Luxembourg, so that one's nice. Denmark 5 ore. So I was wondering if we'd get any silver coins in this video, and so this is the coin out there that might have the least amount of silver in it, but still be a silver coin. It's from Sweden. It's from 1958. This is a small coin, and it's about 40% silver. At $30 an ounce, this would have about 45-cent value in melt value. So this, the whole lot's already been a win. So every time you can add even the tiniest amount of silver to it, I consider that a good thing. But now that I look at it, there's this other silver coin. So we've got a Sweden 10 ore from 1916. And in one of the previous videos in this series, I had the 10 ore from 1921 where they did not make it out of silver for 1 year. But the Sweden coins have 3 crowns on them sometimes. And going from memory, I'm thinking this is 64% silver. So that's probably has a melt value of, I'm going to make a wild guess, of 75 cents. So that's 2 silver coins in this lot. Hopefully there's going to be more. On this Israeli coin, we've got a 100 shekel, or shekelim. So I like the design of that one. Here is a very plain Greek coin, 50 lepta. And Greece, they called themselves the Hellenic democracy around the edge here. So that's from 1926 and has one of the Greek gods from their history, thinking that's Mercury, but I don't know for sure. From Germany, here, the German Empire, here's a 5 pfennig from 1911. Usually find those in pretty rough shape. From Guyana, here is a 10-cent coin from 1974. Features a couple of the national bird there on either side of the date. And we have their crest on it, so always like to see that design. So some common stuff over here. Got one of these in the last video, a 2 annas from 1944 with George VI. This Israeli 5 agarot coin features a throwback to an ancient coin. So a coin of an old coin. So that kind of features the old process where they just sort of made a round planchet by hand and then stamped it. So that would feature what an old Israeli coin would have looked like from ancient times. That's kind of neat how they have that throwback on their modern coins. We featured this Thailand coin earlier where I said this is the more common version where he's got 3 metals on it, but there are also 100 million of those. We had the 1 euro earlier, so this one's the smaller version, the half euro, and everything about it's about the same, but smaller. From the Czech Republic, it's a 1 koruna from 2003. So here we go, Elizabeth II, Queen, Regina. The South Africa, 1953, so obviously British controlled since Queen Elizabeth is on it. And at the time, the South African coins mirrored the same pre-decimal system that Britain was using at the time. This is about the size of a United States 1-cent coin, but for them, this is a 1/4 of a penny, which also had the name of a farthing. So on a British coin, it would probably be labeled as a farthing, but on here it's listed as 1/4 of a cent. So 4 farthings made 1 cent. So that's always interesting to find those. Over the last couple of years, I've been finding these older Netherlands coins in pretty decent shape every so often. 1961 is one of the last years they made this design, but still good to find it with some mint luster, so I'm glad to see that. Here is a Jamaican FAO coin. Let us produce more food. 1 cent, so aluminum version of that coin. In my last video, this is going to be a German World War II coin with the Third Reich. But this aluminum coin you don't find nearly as often as some of the smaller denomination coins. So it has an A Berlin mint mark, date of 1943. And as I mentioned in the last video, there are a lot of people, for if you like coins, you probably like history too, but there's some people that like history and don't like coins that still will collect these coins. They have some pretty good value to them to people that don't even collect coins. Here is a modern 50 ore coin from Denmark. We had the 25 in a previous video. And here is the last Mexican 1 cent coin with some wheat on it. From Turkey. Got the crescent moon and star for this 10 kurus coin from 1962. That coin has a lot of variations to it. From the Philippines, 1986, we have Marcelo H. Del Pilar. And they have a lot of coins with interesting animals on it. This is the 50 centimo coin where they actually have the scientific name on here. So that looks like some kind of hawk or eagle or something like that. So those are always neat. Here's an Indian scalp design coin of a 10 paisa. And then from German Empire, here is a 1 pfennig from 1900. Got a few of those in this series. From Yugoslavia, this one's kind of rough, but it is a 5 dinar from 1953. So that is probably a tougher year to find some of those coins. So here's another ugly coin. So we've got, that one's just, I don't know, someone took a round coin and tried to hammer it into a 6-sided coin or something like that. But at least it's interesting. Here's a nice find, I think. From Viet Nam, this is a 20 Sue coin. So these are a tough find, and I think I featured the 10 Sue in a recent video that I filmed. So from memory, I'm thinking that these are 3 generic ladies from Vietnam, not any specific people. But depending on the age of the coin, sometimes Sue will be found spelled XU. Maybe not on that particular coin, but I've seen that before. Here's a coin from Saudi Arabia. Going to be the 50 Halaru. So a larger denomination, not as common. Has an Arabic date of 1392. So I think that's about the 1970s. From there. So the 5 centavos, when it was the larger version of the coin from 1952. And this was another rough shape, but has good details, and I like the shine on it. But it does does appear to be clean. Does have a hole in it, but it's the 1 centavo from 1945. Really nice, except for the hole and the fact that it was clean. So here's the medium-sized version of the 5 centavos, and they made it even smaller. And at one point, they even made it out of copper nickel. So here's a Cuban coin that wasn't produced for very long. A 1 centavo. Featuring Jose Marti. So I believe this is the centennial of the birth of Jose Marti. So it's got a date of 1855 and 1955. And so it appears like this version of the coin was made out of brass, but I think they made it another year out of copper nickel. They kept the design mostly the same, but they removed the reference to it being a centennial from it. So I found a 20 centavo in an earlier version of this in this series. So that one was new to my collection, but I had that one before. So here's an older coin from, let's see, Norway, I think. So we've got a dolphin on here. It's a 2 ore coin. And I don't know the country, but it's one of those Denmark, Norway, Sweden, one of those. Christian the Ninth. But it occurred to me that it doesn't even tell you which country it is on here, but the people would know who their monarch was. So here's a half a franc aluminum coin. or a 50 centimes from 1942. Had a couple of these in a previous video. This one's might be better shape. I always find it well worn, but 1925, a little bit better condition. Here's a United States wheat penny in 1946, all beaten up. Someone would pay 2 cents for that. From Italy, we have this. This one has some pretty detailed stalk of wheat on it. It's a 5 centimes from Italy, 1921. A little bit corroded over here, but Emmanuel III as the emperor. Here's a well-worn Czechoslovakian coin from 1956 when it's still a republic. That one's going to be a 10 halaru. And so there are other coins in this series. I believe there's a 10, a 5, a 2, and a 1 that are pretty much just have this same design, but they keep getting smaller with the smaller denominations. They wonder if this one was a mint coin at one point, because it's so shiny for being 1971. Here's the less common 100 lira coin where they made it smaller in 1994. Got another German coin. This time it's the 1 Pfennig. This one's made out of zinc, so it has zinc coins tarnished white. But people would still collect that probably. So from Peru, we've got this coin of Gran Almirante Miguel Grau. So this was from an era of Peruvian coins where they had a different monetary system that didn't last very long, but all of the coins at that time featured Miguel Grau on every denomination, and that's the 20 centimos. So they're in the mid to late 80s. Here is a small coin from Poland, so 5 groszy. From Portugal, this is going to be one of the Portuguese-controlled countries, and we're going to have it from Angola. And so it's from 1949, and let me pause for a moment. I've seen this coin before because most versions of this coin will just say Angola at the top, but this one is the Colonia de Angola. And if I remember correctly, this was about a 100 or 200 or 300 year anniversary of when Angola was colonized by the Portuguese or something along those lines. And so instead of just saying Angola for this 1 year, it had Colonia de Angola on it. So here we have a coin from Uruguay featuring Artigas. A 2 centimos, and they have like a 1 and a 5 out of that set as well. From Hong Kong, we've got the 10 cents with 1948, a 10 cent coin even with the security reading. And I see a special coin coming up here at the end, but let's see if there's anything else. These 1 centime coins are actually sort of hard to find, I think, compared to some of the others. Got that 10 centimos from Spain. This one's in pretty good shape. It's from Hungary. It's a 2 filler coin. From 1965. I don't think it's going to have that big of a value, but it's still in circulated shape. But we've got a nice silver coin to end up this video with. It's going to be a quarter rupee from India from 1944. So earlier in this video, we had a copper nickel version which followed up this one. But I'm going to make a guess that this was 50%. I don't think they were making sterling at the time, but yeah, that's going to have a couple dollars in melt value on here. And so I believe they made quarter, halves, and whole rupees during this time. But a couple years after this coin was made, it switched to the non-silver version of the coin. So I think that's a great way to end. So got $3 or $4 worth of silver in here, lots of other good stuff, and so I was very happy with this, and I'm hoping that this dealer is going to have some more lots that I can buy from them off of eBay. So certainly I had a good mix on here, and so hope you don't mind watching all 4 similar coin videos all in a row, and At the end here, I'm probably going to link back to the last video of the series, but there's some older ones on here that I recorded a couple of years ago from the same dealer, and this is the first time he sold a lot and that I found in a couple of years. So I was certainly glad that I found this one. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next coin video. Bye.